All right, so we're going to do something a little different today. Comic fam, thank you so much for joining us. I'm with Russ Bright, the comic sensei. How you doing?
Yeah, pretty good.
Okay, so I have an update for you. So, number one on the list last week, Detective Comics, the 80th anniversary giant.
Walmart. Yep.
Walmart edition, right? Okay. How did we come up with our approximate print count? We said, what was it, 3,300?
So, yeah, we had heard that it was 60 comics went out to just over 50 stores. So, somewhere in the 3,000 to 3,300 range was what we figured for a print count.
Okay, so there's some new information that I don't think you know about that I wanted to share with you.
Sure.
But if you don't know this, you have to download Key Collector Comics, the best comic book app that exists on the market. Use code Tom101 to get a free week subscription. If you did that and you were following the hotkey section, you would know that there was an update to this comic book. And this update was glaring because it says here, approximately 1,500 copies made it to market. We got word. Can't tell you who it was from, but the source is good.
I mean, that's less than half of what we were expecting initially. I have had people coming into the shop all last week. Dude, I went to this store, they didn't have any. And these are the Walmarts in the state of Washington that normally carry comics. No one can find them. No one's seen them. Again, when I first talked about this a couple weeks ago, it was a ghost. I wasn't even aware of the comic when it first came out.
Which I didn't expect you to be aware because you're a store owner. Why would you be keeping track of Walmart
I don't go to
books?
Walmart, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyways, we're not here to talk about a Walmart book, and there's none on the list actually. So that's a little bit of a change. All right, but we are talking about the top 10 hottest comic books of the week. We do this every single Friday. Hit the subscribe button. Let's jump right into this list of 10. At number 10, we got Illuminati news. Wait, what? Bendis coming on the list? Okay, we're talking about New Avengers issue number 7, the first appearance of the Illuminati.
Okay.
Now, why are we reporting on this book? Well, first off, let's talk about the price of the book. $8 average sales, highs at $25. There aren't actually any sold listings for a graded copy of this issue, which is pretty interesting for a minor key.
Well, interesting, but honestly, it's the type of thing that, do you think people want to spend $35 on a book that's only selling for $8 to get it graded? Generally not.
Right, but you think there'd be something out there maybe, but nothing yet. But we are seeing an increase of copies sold of almost 2,000% in a week.
Wow.
Okay, but let's talk about what's going on. Well, we had a Thomas Bacon, December 21st, all right, Screen Rant, reported this. Avengers Endgame established the MCU's Illuminati, if Marvel wants it. Avengers Endgame may have already secretly done this. What's going on? Well, this is what he reported. Avengers Endgame may have subtly set up MCU's version of the Illuminati. In the aftermath of Thanos' victory in Avengers Infinity War, most of the OG Avengers went their own way. The exception was Black Widow, who refused to go her own way. She kept with that superhero path. Instead, she began to coordinate with other heroes using that holographic transmitter, perhaps provided by Rocket or by Captain Marvel, who knows, but to ensure that everybody can keep in touch.
Right.
Black Widow seems to have been considered the one in charge, but the group also may include Rocket, Captain Marvel, War Machine, and our good friend from Wakanda. So do you remember the scene? It was pretty epic. They were all there.
It was 5 years after, and it was like, we don't know where anyone is. These are the people. Keep going out and looking. It
was a squad.
Someone's rumbling at the bottom of the sea. I mean, that was where the Submariner speculation came from. But yeah, totally remember the scene.
Okay, so did they potentially set up some type of team? Well, there is one flaw to this. Where's Doctor Strange? There ain't no Doctor Strange.
Right.
But we're finding out today, well, we have a little bit of a change up happening. We have the original director of Doctor Strange, Scott Derrickson, announcing that he's leaving the title. And I'm seeing here possibly creative differences.
Sure.
All right. Is Marvel ushering in the Illuminati over the plan that Doctor Strange had? Well, we're talking a couple weeks later. Big changes happening to Doctor Strange, and people are now investing in what they think could be a setup of a different rendition of the Illuminati. They did a different rendition of Infinity Gauntlet. They didn't need the same people.
Right.
Maybe they're doing it again.
Be a good idea.
Number 9 on the list.
Number 9 in the list, we have The New World #1. Now, this is an interesting one. This is from Image Comics, so it's written by Alex Cott, and we have Tradd Moore as the artist.
Dude, this is 2 years old, from 2018.
It's a love story about a vegan hacker that gets involved with cop who's basically, it sounds like the Truman Show, where, you got the cameras following him the entire time and what goes on from there. Sounds like an uplifting, futuristic thing, but this all takes place after the Second Civil War, which puts another interesting twist into the story. This has been optioned, and they're going to be making a movie out of it with the writer attached.
All right, so no one was expecting this book. 0 sales. Like, probably longer than a week, but we're definitely reporting week
0
over week.
sales last week.
40 sales this week. What's going on?
It is crazy. Again, this is something that no one had thought about for, again, pretty much a year. $12 raw sales. We're seeing high sales at $70.
That 70 was actually a set. Again, not a whole lot of sales happening, and now everyone's investing in it. And this is kind of a unique one because they had a cover A when this was released, but they made 4 different covers for it, and they weren't incentive covers. So people are buying anything that they like.
Normally with Image, you have open to order covers, so you can order all of A, B, and C, whichever one you want. We have a confirmed print count of just over 11,000 for number 1. So this is a tough book, and the graphic novel's been out there for over 6 months. So a lot of people will have traded in their singles or even possibly waited to get the graphic novel. So it's going to be tougher to actually find number 1s.
And that set, there was only 5 comics in it. A couple number 1s and a couple other issues from later in the series. But still, $70 for a book that no one was literally buying, or for a set of books that no one was literally buying, rather. Let's chat about number 8 on the list. Russ, I've been told I say excited a little too much, so I am elated. All right, I am enthused right now.
Yep.
Because, well, Shazam, issue number 11, it's coming out in February, all right, next month.
Right.
But issue 13, the cover was dropped. It was tweeted out by the artist, Dale Eagleson. And what does this tweet say? Well, it's a cover, and it's got Superboy Prime on it. He's coming back. So we got DC Comics Presents issue number 87, the first appearance of the corrupted parallel universe version of Superman. And we know that G5 is around the corner. They're going to be retconning. They're going to be changing the world. DC does this all the time. It's going to be like New 52 all over it again. Is Superboy Prime going to be the cause? Well, speculation is pushing this book up.
Now, this is one of the interesting books later in the run of DC Comics Presents that's actually worth something. $20 raw, and we're seeing a graded copy going for $125.
5G, Generation 5, 5th generation, it's coming. People are speculating. And in this last week, we saw an increase of sales from 4 to 14. That's a 250% increase in copies sold. This dude's been gone for a long time. We thought this character was trapped. Well, he's back. And I'm going to be picking up issue 13 of Shazam. Got to add that to my pull list.
Oh, yeah, you have to.
All right, what do we got at number 7?
Number 7, we have New Mutants number 14. Ooh. Now, this is an interesting one because we are now talking about it being the first full appearance of Magic, Illyana Rasputin.
We'll get into it. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
So issue number 14, what's the prices going right now?
So right now, issue number 14 is going for $20 raw with a high of $225 for a 9.8.
You know, people saw that trailer and they're excited.
Oh, yes, they definitely are.
Freaking badass.
Lots of good New Mutant stuff.
Magic looks badass. You know, like, what did she say? Like, the first time she used her powers, she killed 18 men one by one. She's gonna be a badass, dude. I'm so stoked about this, and I'm like, I hope it does like surprisingly well. Maybe we'll see more.
Sure.
But let's talk about Illyana. Let's talk about Magic, because this is a book where she joins the New Mutants, but it's one of those War Machine type of situations. She doesn't go by magic in that book.
No.
I scrubbed those pages. Nothing. Key Collector scrubbed those pages. Nothing.
Right.
Okay, so let's take it back. Okay, what's her first appearance? What's going on? Illyana Rasputin first appears in Giant Size X-Men number 1 as a child. All right? Then she appears again in New Mutants. Nope. She appears as an adolescent in issue number 160 of X-Men.
Okay.
All right. She's younger, but that's 2 different appearances well before New Mutants. Okay. Then we have New Mutants. No, we don't have New Mutants. We have Magic, the limited series.
The mini series, and that is the one that I've always talked about. Everyone asking about first appearance of Magic is Magic number 1, which always felt odd to me that she shows up in a mini series. Hey, by the way, here's a character you've never seen. Now she gets a mini series. So 1 through 4 issue, and it's an origin story.
Yep. And it also explains her rapid growth in age. You know, she gets older really quick.
Right.
But here's the thing. The title is called Magic.
Yep.
But she doesn't get the name magic in that series.
She does.
She does not. So issue 14 now. We're at New Mutants now, and we just told you she joins the New Mutants, and people are specking on this book. But she doesn't go by magic there either. She doesn't go by magic until issue number 21. So, multiple books to spec on. This one is the one that people are landing on. She joins the New Mutants. It's cool. It's a great book.
Sure.
But there are definitely other comics that you need to be keeping an eye out for.
Absolutely. This is an interesting one.
Okay, let's take a look at, wait a minute, number 6 on the list, Dark Red. I did not expect to see this book pop up again.
No, not really. Now, we were talking about Dark Red last year. Number 6 on the list, Dark Red number 1. Tim Seeley story. It's about a vampire who's living and working in rural America, kind of undercover. You know, trying to not be seen, working graveyard shifts of jobs. You know, living, loving, lifing, all of the above as a vampire undercover. Well, we have an exclusive announcement from Tim Seeley, the writer himself, that this has been optioned. It is going to be made into a movie. Fantastic. Raws are going for $5. The high sale, $400 for a 9.9 graded Shannon Mayer variant. Now, we talked about this variant before. We've talked about this book before. I can tell you that last time we talked about this book, I had a ton of people jump on it. I had a ton of people pick up the second print of them. And most of my people at my shop just dropped it. And I don't know whether it picked up steam. Any of the people I know who've been reading past issue 6 or 7, maybe it kind of came to fruition, but most of the people read the first issue and weren't a huge fan. So this is great news, and I'm not trying to bag on the story at all, but I can let you know that a lot of the people I know, it just didn't grab them quickly. Sometimes you have to give an issue 5 or 6 issues, you know?
And this is one of those situations where it's like, okay, yes, it's probably optioned.
Sure.
But we don't really know because Tim Seeley acknowledged this in response to a comment on whether it was optioned.
Sure.
And he's like, stay tuned. So it's one of those things where he said enough to make people think that something's in the works. But you did mention Shannon Mayer, and this dude is so dope.
Oh,
he
yeah.
draws amazing art, and he just dropped over on his Facebook page. You got to like this guy on Facebook because he posts his sketches and his pencil work and his final covers well in advance. Dude, he just released his Wonder Woman issue 750 variant. I don't know how this guy does it. It's freaking pristine. It's titillating.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's chat about number 5 on the list.
Number 5 on the list, we have Wraith Annihilation.
Dude, what's going on with this book, dude? We
well,
talked about this before.
Anytime Donny Cates talks about Wraith, you know he loves this character.
He's been talking about it for a while, hasn't
a
he?
very long time. This book spiked because Donny was talking about this book. This book spiked when he was talking about putting him in Dark Guardians. Well, now we find out that Wraith is supposed to have a one-shot in April. So all of a sudden, we have Wraith Annihilation going $20 raw, $200 for a graded 9.8. And this is a cool book. Again, the new Annihilation event is happening, so we may very well see tie-ins from that Annihilation event to this Annihilation event.
It's a 400% increase in copies sold on this book. And this character didn't do much in Dark Guardians, so it definitely took a little bit of a dive. But now it's back up with a lot of copies hitting the market and going quick.
Right.
Let me read you about issue number 2, though, because I think number 2 is potentially spec worthy here. It's going for $12 on the high, and it says here it's the first appearance of the team and origin of the Exelon, the parasites made of the living darkness created by Null.
Okay.
There's a Null connection.
Nice.
All right. You know, Cates likes those opportunities to goldball it. All right, let's take a look at number 4.
Number 4 on the list, we have Star Wars, The Rise of Kylo Ren.
Oh, dude, this is a photo cover, isn't it?
Now,
It's a 1 in 25.
So it is the 1 in 25.
It's number 2.
This is a very photorealistic color, but it's actually drawn by Jody Muir, who, if you look at her Instagram, there's some fantastically photorealistic cover. This is Uncanny Valley here, though.
No, this is creepy. Dude.
Right, I'm
Her
looking
art
at
is
it.
too real.
It is very, very realistic. I mean, we were trying to discern whether or not it was a photo cover or whether it was an art cover, and we knew that it was an art cover. But
I got to show multiple pictures.
You do,
that this
because the
artist
rest
does.
of her stuff is so good. This is creepy, and I think
What happened here? Because this isn't. I don't care for this, dude.
I think
What
it
do you
might
think
just
about
be B, Adam Driver is not a very good-looking man. Sorry if you have a crush on him. I don't like the guy.
Adam, you're a handsome gentleman.
Sure, you're a very handsome gentleman. No, absolutely. As Ben Solo, great. In the movie, fantastic. But man, I really don't want to look at that face. And I personally won't be buying this book, but a lot of people will. And it's selling for $55 for the variant right now. Even the main cover is selling for $10 to $12 solidly on eBay. And number one is still going in the $15 to $20 range for the main cover. And the variant is up there.
And we know some of these Star Wars variants, they start to go up and you think they're going to go down, and then they just keep going up. That's been one thing I've learned in the almost 2 years we have been covering this damn list.
Absolutely. And with Star Wars variants, especially now, there are so many Star Wars things coming out. A lot of shops are scaling back because if you get the main Star Wars run and then you get Dr. Aphra, you don't really want to buy the Ewok special thing and C-3PO's one shot and Lando's thing and what Chewbacca ate for lunch.
Toy variant after toy variant.
No, you don't want to. So you scale back on it. So if you have a miniseries like Kylo Ren, which is not a character that a lot of people are going to be buying a ton of, you're going to see many fewer of these 1 in 25s.
Number 3 on the list, we have New Mutants, issue number 18. Dude, how many of these freaking comics did we just sign in the mystery mail call?
At least 15 of them, if not more. And I've always known this is the first appearance of Warlock because Demon Bear is not the character that anyone cared about.
Dude, Demon Bear is a character people are caring about right now.
They are now.
Okay, so we have a high of this book at $145, average sales for $12.
Mm-hmm.
But the trailer dropped. It looks good.
Yeah.
We're getting kind of a narrative is kind of playing out.
Sure.
You know, kids locked in a hospital. Is it a place to get well or is it a place to keep them trapped?
Right.
All right. And one of the ongoing synopsis of this particular movie is that they are seeing things that may or may not be real. Who knows? But there is one thing for sure is that there is a bear in this trailer. Like you see the teeth, it's really quick and there's only a couple shots I was able to spot.
Right.
But it was enough to spike this particular book. And it's cool.
Sure.
You know, it's a cool character. So New Mutants, Chris Claremont, Bill Sienkiewicz. Why don't we do a giveaway? It's sitting right here.
Oh my gosh.
We have the New Mutants. It's signed by the legend himself.
Yep.
We even have the cert because, hey, thank you 6 Foot Publishing and Bill S. for sending us giveaways. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Let me know what you think about this video. And let's talk about number 2 on the list. Dude, do we have Beta Ray Bale coming?
Beta Ray Bale.
Can we keep that going? I did not make that up. Shout
Yep,
out Key Collector.
Like really,
this dude comes up with some good stuff.
Christian Bale apparently being cast or talked about being cast. I mean, I guess Bradley Cooper did a great job as Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah, they could change his face, make it a horse face, but you know what? I don't know. We're going to actually talk on the podcast next week about the other specs of who Christian Bale may be playing, but obviously, when you see Beta Ray Bill on a potential list, this book has been a long time spec since Ragnarok, since we saw him on that tower, and I need to see it.
Thor 337, guys. If you're not paying attention, you gotta do it. This is an amazing book. People are buying them left and right. This has been a hot book for a very, very long time.
All right, so we have a $75 average sale for this book. Dude, this was a $20 book at one point.
I know.
Early years of collecting, you can find them in dollar bins. It's crazy.
Yep.
But not anymore. High. We have a special high. Graded Canadian price variant. $800.
That is crazy. And even the newsstand variant, you're seeing 9/8 going above 400. I mean, this book is hot. It is crazy. And again, it's not moving down anytime soon because we've had so much spec about Asgardians of the Galaxy. And now that we're closer with this Beta Ray Bale news, yeah, it's a good thing.
Okay, so I know as of Thursday night that we're recording this, thank you, by the way, Comic Family, give us the best job in the world. We got like 30 slots left for the January mystery mail call, and we have just over 6 days left. We're going to sell out for sure.
Yep.
So hit the link in the description. Reserve your box. Help support the show. Get your Thor, Comic Tom, Mill Geek Comics exclusive.
Yep.
Donnie Cates, Nick Klein, killing it on this book. If you haven't seen my review, you got to check it out. I freaking love this comic book. Last page is so dope. Let's talk about number 1 on the list. We have a repeat offender. This doesn't happen often on our lists, but sometimes it does. And we have to put New Mutants, right back on here. Marvel graphic novel issue number 4.
Marvel graphic novel, issue number 4. So great. This is just one of those books. It deserves to be repeated because it has been spiking. It has been moving. It's not even that people have been thinking about it, you know, with the movie coming out. I mean, why not have more New Mutants on the list?
Dude, I screwed up, dude.
That's okay.
I really screwed up this week. I didn't know I had one.
Oh my God.
We made the video, you know, and I have an eBay page. If you didn't know, Geek Street 101 on eBay.
Sure.
I list comics there. If you want to like help me pay bills and stuff, you know,
Right.
support. But you can go and check out books. I didn't realize I had a freaking like high grade copy, and I sold it for like $150, which is what's good. I mean, average sales are 65 for a mid grade.
Right.
We'll talk about this in a second. High sale at $800, which is what we reported last week.
Sure.
But here's the thing, dude. I looked at that book when I shipped it. It's like 9698 candidate, and I didn't realize it. I make mistakes too. I didn't realize it, and apparently I have stuff listed that I didn't even know I had. So go check out my eBay page and help me pay the
And
bills.
with this book being magazine sized and it's got a black cover, it's very, very condition sensitive. So the fact that you even had one that lasted, 35 plus years in that condition, that's awesome. But yeah, the reason why we're seeing average mid-grade sales on eBay 65 is most of these are going to be in the fine, very fine range,
We reported last week. I'm checking out the last week's list right here because I happen to have it in front of me. It made number 8 on our list. All right. And we had reported average sales when we did the math at $100. Now average sales are at $65.
Right.
So as you mentioned, more sales of this book. I mean, it's pretty clear what's going on. This is a tough book in high grade.
Right.
And with this change of 153% in copies sold in just 7 days since the trailer dropped, yeah, that average is going to go down because of the grade of that oversized, just prone to fingerprints and problems.
Oh, yeah.
And when those high grade copies sell, there's only lower grade copies available, and that average price has scaled down. But if that book isn't doing it for you, and you don't want to get it, did you know that they reprinted this in the 90s? And did you know that Adam Hughes did the cover?
This is so great. Now, in 1994, Adam Hughes did a reprint of the Chris Claremont, Bob McLeod Marvel graphic novel number 4 with a new cover, and raw copies are going on average for about $100. So you could either buy the Adam Hughes variant or you could buy the original one, and you're going to spend about the same amount of money.
That's right. And I kind of prefer the reprint cover a little bit
It
more.
is really cool.
See, I'm an Adam Hughes fan. What can I say?
I know, totally.
All right. Hey, big thank you to our sponsor. We're very, very grateful for Key Collector Comics, the best comic book app that exists on the market, hands down, all for 2019, all for 2020. Do yourself a favor and download it and use the code Tom101 to support the show and to better your comic book collecting. We appreciate your time, comic fan, as always.
Tom, we can't stop this video until we give away this hotness. This Bill
You're
S.
right, yeah.
with the thumbprint going out to James Critter, who liked, subscribed, commented down below. And if you want to win this New Mutants Chris Claremont signed by Bill S., like, comment, subscribe, do what you got to do.
And, as always,
Now you can geek responsibly.
enough said. Comic fam, we appreciate you. We got 2 other videos right here you can check out. We have a podcast we release every single week. And dude, Jeff brought the books that he found in the first collection that he ever sold you, that he kept for himself. And he brought them here. We went through them. Bound X-Men 1 through 100.
It's gorgeous.
It's freaking crazy. Comic fan, you got to watch this. And then there's also another video down there that you can click on if you don't want to watch the podcast. We have options.